I was super athletic. I started playing sports when I was 5. My parents put me into softball. I was, enormous at 5. So I started playing sports very young. I played all the way throughout my senior year of high school. Then I decided I was done. At the same time, around this time, 16 years old, I get introduced to alcohol. One of my friends who I knew well, she said, "Here, drink this, I need the cup back." And so I did. I had never drank before that time. But I remember enjoying it. I remember being much more loose. It was like an elixir. Like my personality came out. I mean, I also fell down the stairs and blacked out, so that it ended like that, but I did remember that I liked that. I mean, I was getting messages early on from my friends in college that, "Hey man, you might drink a little bit too much." One of my friends said, "You drink like an alcoholic," because I was doing shots in my dorm room. Drinking shots alone from a vodka bottle with no shot glass, kind of alcoholic when I look back on it now. Started drinking at 16, by mid-20s, trouble. I told myself I was gonna stop doing drugs. I even wrote it down in a journal. And then the next day I'd use drugs, and then I'd write it again. And then the next day I'd use drugs, and I'd write it again. So I knew that I had lost control and couldn't stop. So I went out, binged, and so my binges are a good, 12, 18 hours. So it's the next day, it's around 11 a.m. in the morning. I decide, I think I'm gonna end my life. I can't do this anymore. I don't know if it's much of a decision, but what happened, I just came to this conclusion that I can't live with or without alcohol. So I picked up the phone. I was gonna make a call to a friend to bring me more beer, but I picked up the house phone, a house phone at that time, and I dialed the wrong number, and I actually called one of my lifelong friends from high school who was in the mental health field. I was really surprised when she answered the phone because I didn't think I called her, and she was over my house within an hour. I remember her saying in my face, she said, "This is it, we're taking you to someplace really good this time. You're going to the best place." And so she knew the best places, and I was at the Hanley Center in like 2 hours. They dropped me off and they said, "She's all yours." That was my journey. That's how it started. Definitely had memorable moments while I was at the Hanley Center. Most of the experiential activities with Cynthia stuck out to me. One of them being, she says to me, and she put it down on my level, she says, "Listen, if you can't square dance," because I didn't want to square dance because that's not cool. So she said, "If you can't square dance with the other women, you're never going to get a sponsor and you're never going to do the 4-step. She's like, "The 4-step's way harder than square dancing." And so I looked at her and I thought to myself, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Now I didn't say that out loud to her because I'm giving everyone a hard time, but I was just like, that makes a lot of sense. Finally, someone put something on my level, like, you're right. If I can't be humble right now and break through my ego here, how am I gonna ask someone to sponsor me? I'm never gonna be able to do that. People can definitely have fun when they're sober. Fun is what I do now. Fun is actually having a connection with other people, remembering what you do. I've been to multiple concerts, I've been to all kinds of shows, and I've traveled, I'm afraid of heights, I've climbed a mountain, I've done all kinds of wildly insane but fun things while I've been sober that I never would have done when I was drinking. I can do everything that I was intended to do in this life because I'm sober. The alumni coordinator that worked here at the time really took me under her wing. So she did a lot of things for me in early sobriety. I think I was around 18 months sober. She called me and said, "We have a job for you at the Hanley Center, come up." I didn't really ask any questions. I just came up and started working at the Hanley Center. I love working with patients. I'm able to connect with them on a level that maybe other people can't because I've been through the whole process. I've been sober for almost 14 years, and part of being sober is helping others. My higher power didn't get me sober so I could sit on my butt and not help people. I need to actually reach out and help other people, and that's the whole point of this thing. There's nothing more that I love than when the patients stay sober and they know that. The agenda is your sobriety. You might not like some of my suggestions, but you might actually stay sober if you do it. So I think helping others is where it's at. Honestly, when I think about where I was and where I am now, it's totally amazing. I cannot believe that I sit in the same chair, possibly in the same office that my counselor sat in when she was helping me. It's unbelievable, and I'm just blessed. I'm blessed to work here. I was blessed to be a patient here. I was so lucky and so grateful that my parents helped me. and that I had that opportunity, because not everybody does have the opportunity, and I'm definitely blessed. I see each patient as an opportunity to help somebody else and give them this gift that was given to me. So working at Hanley does mean a lot to me. It does.